We'll start with foot massage. So get your balls and we'll be standing. And, you know, I tend to forget to use both balls equally. And as a result, one ball is much softer than the other. So make sure you kind of alternate, right? So you won't use both balls. Yeah. So I have one that's much softer than the other. So I'm choosing the one that has more sort of density. And we'll put it on the floor. And we'll start rolling out our feet. Go along the inner arch of the foot and the outer arch of the foot. If you place your heel on the floor and go side to side, you'll find a transverse arch of your foot. And you can play with how much pressure you want to apply onto the foot. Gently pulsing, sort of shifting your weight onto the ball of the foot. So placing the heel on the floor and the toes on the ball, see if you can grip the ball with your toes. As though you're trying to pick it up. So you're kind of squeezing your toes over the ball. The first 2 or 3 toes, and then move over to the rest of the foot. So the 3, 4, and 5 digits. See if you can squeeze the ball with those. Then roll out again. Maybe this time you can apply a bit more pressure. And if you have the yoga tune-up ball, you might be able to sense how pliable the ball is to the sole of your foot. Register that movement that's available in the ball and in your foot, because we have all these tiny little spaces there in the bottom, at the bottom of the foot, all those little bones, right? Like a mosaic of them, and they all want a little bit of movement in there. Well, actually as much as we can give them. All those places, they need movement to improve circulation. And we'll switch over to the other foot. Start gently rolling the bottom of the foot out. See how this side is doing. Notice if your standing leg, your supporting leg is stable and you're not sort of leaning or dumping your weight onto the hip. So hug the hip in while rolling out the opposite side. Now heel on the floor. Let's go side to side. See if you can create a little bit of a tilt through the ankle. So as you move the foot over to the right, the inner edge of the arch reaches towards the floor. And then as you move it to the left, the outer edge of the foot reaches towards the floor. Very nice. And try to keep the rest of your body relatively still. So if I am to sort of show you my body from the waist up, and I'm moving my foot over the ball, you won't really know, right? This is still quiet. And then roll out the foot again. Placing the heel on the wall, on the floor, and the ball of your foot on the ball. Move your foot slightly back so the ball is right underneath the toes. And try gripping with the toes. Notice if this foot has more grip or less than your original one. And then move on to the other toes. And again, trying to grip. And roll it out. Beautiful. Okay, so we'll put it off to the side and we'll do a little bit of shaking. Just start sort of bouncing, waking things up. See if you can create some noodle kind action through the arms, through your shoulders, through your legs. Notice how your feet are sensing the ground. Notice some body parts that are holding on to tension and some body parts that are, you know, really happy to be shaking. And then slow it down and then settle over 2 feet and just take a moment on your 2 feet. Close your eyes. Notice your breath settling down. Connect to the ground with the soles of your feet. Feel your ankles, your knees, your hips. Check if the hips feel right on top of your knees and on top of your ankles. Sense your rib cage right on top of the hips, your shoulders, your head. Notice how your arms are hanging. Try to have your palms rest on the sides of your thighs. And open your eyes. Beautiful. So let's grab our blanket and we'll roll it up so it's sort of in the shape of a sausage. We'll place it on the floor. We'll place our left foot on top of your rolled up blanket. The heel is down on the floor. So your left foot is on top of the blanket. I'll turn around so you can see this foot a bit closer. Try to shift your left hip forward enough to feel the hip right on top of your left ankle. And notice the sensation of stretch that goes all the way down through the calf into your heel. See if you can keep your feet parallel and maybe even take the right foot a little bit further forward. Keep the left heel on the ground. Press through the outer edge of your foot, your left foot, and then start gently pulsing the left knee. Micro bending. Nothing else in the body changes, just a little bend in the knee. And the left hip is still right on top of the left ankle. Beautiful. Straighten the knee. Now try to make the left foot slightly lighter on the rolled up blanket, as though you're trying to take your foot off the gas pedal. It won't happen, but you'll feel a lot of activation through the shin and through the crease of your ankle. Keep pulling up, 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 up. Make sure you're pressing through the big toe still. And then release. Standing on your right, extend your left behind you. Curl the toes under, and you can use your blanket to create a little bit of softness. Press the toes into the blanket. Now see if you can straighten the left knee. Notice if your hips want to shift forward when you do that. So very often when we're standing on one leg, what happens here, the hips want to shift forward. Shift them back so your right leg is completely vertical while you're stretching the top of your left foot. And then go side to side, finding a little bit of internal rotation and external rotation through the hip. And the rest of the body stays still. Beautiful, nice. And let's do the other side. So your right foot will be on top of your rolled up blanket, the ball of the right foot, and the heel is down. Play with your hips just to feel the difference, shifting them forward, shifting them back, and then finding that vertical line, right? If there were a plumb line running from your hip into your knee to the ankle, it would be you would hit all those 3 points. So first parallel your feet. Feel that calf stretch. And then see if you can take a tiny little step forward with your left foot. And again, notice if the rib cage is still right on top of the pelvis, maybe hips have shifted forward. Maybe you feel like it's, you know, you're getting a bit too much arch in the lower back. Can you lengthen the lower back? You know, the arch might happen naturally if the calf muscle is very tight. Once you start stretching it, you know, instead of stretching the calf, the lower back wants to participate. So lengthen the lower back so the stretch goes into the calf. Check with the big toe on the right foot. Is it trying to lift off the blanket? Try to ground it into the blanket. Now we'll pulse the knee. Nothing else changes in the body. Just a tiny bend through the right knee. The hips don't move. The shoulders don't move. Tiny little pulse in, breathing through the nose. Nice. Straighten the knee. Now pretend you're taking your right foot off the gas pedal. You're trying to lift it up. Make it lighter on the blanket. Breathing here, keep lifting it up, lifting it up. Beautiful, nice. Take a tiny step back with your left and extend your right behind you. Again, see if you want to use the blanket underneath your toes so it's a little softer. Check in with your hips. Are your hips back? Is your weight sitting closer to the heel of your left foot? Stretching the top of the foot. And now finding the rotation. So if I'm facing you, the rotations will happen at the hip and nothing else in the body moves. Beautiful. Nice. Great. Take a step forward. Let's shake out the legs. And we'll find our resistance band. So with your long piece, let's loop it across our lower back, along your waistline. Okay. Pull on it so you feel the resistance from the band. Take a step forward with your left foot. Feet are parallel, they're pointing forward. You're pulling on the strap and you feel your lower back underneath the strap. So you're not giving into the resistance, you're gently pressing out without getting rid of the curve, right? The curve is still there, but you're gently pressing out. The left foot is forward, pull the toes up on the left foot, soften your right knee, and then see if you can find your hinge without changing anything through the lower back. So now it's a calf stretch and hamstring stretch, using the actual leg instead of using your lower back to do the stretch. And then slowly come out. Let's do it one more time. Lift the toes up. Feel the resistance from the band. Soften your right knee, hinging forward. Send your sit bones back. Nothing changes through the lower back. Pull the toes nice and high. Now see if you can pivot on the left heel. So the left foot is moving in and out. So put my facing you. Come back to center and unhinge. All right. Let's do the other side. Take a step forward with your right foot. The feet are still parallel, right? We're not wide, we're not sort of going on along the tightrope. They're hip width apart. Pull the right toes off the floor, come up onto the right heel. Soften your left knee. Make sure the knee is pointing forward. Pull on the strap and then feeling the resistance from the band, hinge forward. Nothing changes in the lower back. You keep gently resisting back into the band, but you're not getting rid of the curve with the lower back. Slowly unhinge. We'll do it one more time. So right foot is still forward. Soften your left knee. Pick up your right toes. Come up onto the right heel. Like the entire foot is up. You're pulling the top of the foot towards the shin. Pull on the strap, hinging. Nothing changes in the lower back. And now we're gonna pivot on the right heel. Side to side. The entire leg moves as one piece. And the left knee is pointing forward. It's not collapsing in. And then slowly come back up. Beautiful. Now the strap will go across your upper back. We'll do the same stretch, but now the focus will shift up into the upper back. What happens very often when we learn to use our legs and we keep the curve through the lower back, sometimes we start using our upper back for the hinge instead of sort of using the strength of the legs. And that takes the stretch out of the hamstring and creates too much strain in the upper back. So we'll go over to the left side. Left foot steps forward. Pull on the strap. So decide how much tension you want. The closer to your body you hold the strap, and then if you pull all the way out, you'll feel a lot of resistance. So pull, feel the resistance. Press out through the upper back. So we're not collapsing into the resistance. We're pulling, pushing out. Come up onto the heel of your left foot. Soften your right knee. And now hinge forward. Nothing changes through the lower back, but you're pushing out through the upper back into the strap. And come up. One more time. Come up onto the heel of the left foot. Hinging. Softening the right knee. Pressing out into your bend. And I'll pivot on that heel. Side to side. The right knee is pointing straight forward. Connect to the outer edge of your right foot. Breathing through the nose. And then slowly come up. Let go of the bend. And we'll do it on the other side. Great. So stepping forward with the right. Feet are parallel, pointing forward. Pull on your strap. Come up onto the heel of the right foot. Soften your left knee. Press out into that bend, hinging. Send your sit bones back. Press out into the bend. Neck is long. And then slowly come up. Release the strap for a second. One more time. Pull on the strap. Come up onto the heel of your right foot. Start softening the left knee, hinging. Pressing out into the bend. The neck is long. Tuck the chin in, relax the jaw. Now pivot on that right heel. The leg moves as one piece. And then slowly come up. Beautiful, nice. So with the bend still across your upper back, just tie the bend over your lower ribs. And standing on your 2 feet, we'll find that 3-dimensional breath. So the bend will be tight enough for you to feel the resistance. And when you inhale, you'll notice that expansion all around the circumference of your ribcage through the nose. And as you exhale, you feel your ribcage coming back to its original shape. Let's do 3 more breaths here. Really focused on the expansion all around the circumference, around the ribcage. And then softening and coming back to its original shape. Beautiful. Now take the bend up. Bring it to the front. And now we'll try to lift the arms up and over our head, gently pulling on the strap. And now bring the arms down. Decide if your hands were too narrow, maybe too wide. Create just enough resistance so it feels like work, but you do not have to hold your breath. So now pretend the band is still across your upper back there, and you're pressing out into that band. You'll probably feel like a phantom band still there because we've done so much work with it there. So connect to that sensation. Pull on the strap that's in your hands, and then slowly start lifting your arms up, but still press out through the upper back where you feel that phantom band hugging you. Bring the arms up, pulling on the strap, and then slowly bring your arms down. Connect to the soles of your feet. See that the weight is evenly distributed through the feet. You feel the big toes, the pinkies, the heel. Pressing out into the phantom band across your mid-back. Pull on the strap. And now lift your arms up. Pull on the strap. Keep pressing out through the upper mid-back. And then slowly down. Very nice. One more time. We'll add a little rotation here. So connecting to the feet. Pressing out through the band. The phantom band across your mid-back. Pull on the strap. Lifting the arms up. Pull on the strap. Press out through the upper back. Now rotating over to the left. Pull on the strap. Come back to center. Keep pulling on the strap. Keep pressing out through the mid-upper back. Over to the left, over to the right. Come back to center. And bring the arms down. Lovely. Okay. Let's put the band down. And we're ready to go down to the floor. Your blanket will be under your head. So fold it so it's not too thick, not too thin, just right for your neck. What feels really good if your neck feels like it doesn't get enough support, you can roll like one edge of the blanket like this, right? And that's the part that's going to go under your neck, right into the curve of the neck. And the rest of the blanket will be under your head. Okay, so I'll show you how to support the neck with the sort of freshly folded blanket. So this rolled up part will go right underneath the neck, like this. And the rest, so the head is on the blanket and the rolled up portion is right underneath the neck. So you're going to place it across the mid-upper back. We'll settle onto our back and the feet will be up the wall. And you'll just pull on the band and you feel the resistance from the band across your upper mid-back, just below your shoulder blades. And try to press out into that resistance. And then give in, and then press out into the resistance again. And give in, and then press out into the resistance. Very nice. So we're going to take the band from underneath our back. I just wanted you to reconnect to that sensation of hugging across the upper mid-back with the band. And we'll shift 2 or 3 inches away from the wall. So it's not 90 degrees now, it's slightly more here between the torso and the thigh. So, and the loop that you created, we'll put it over the right foot. Let me see if everybody can do that. You're gonna love it once we settle into this. Yeah, Julie, you can use the loop like this. We'll see how that goes. Very nice. So now have your feet on the wall. Make sure there's a little bit of space underneath your lower back and you're still pressing out into that phantom band across your upper back, upper mid back. And we're going to pull on the strap, reach your arm up and over. Make sure you're connecting to that sensation of pressing out through the mid back. And then bring the arm back. And now pull, again, pressing out into the phantom bend across your mid back. And then come back. See how this arm is doing, how this shoulder is reacting to this reach while pressing out through the upper mid back. And now switch hands, so hold the end in your left hand and do the same on this side. Cool. Nice. And back. And pull. And back. Notice if your core has to gently engage as you reach up and over while still pressing out through the upper mid back. And one last time, pull. And release. Beautiful. Switch back to the same side. So now we're going to lift the legs off the wall. Find 90 degrees at the hip. Connect to the sensation of the band across your upper mid back. So we're still pressing out into that resistance. And now we'll reach the arm and leg away from each other, tapping the heel on the wall, and then bring it back. And then reach away. Nothing changes through the lower and upper back. And come back to center. And reach away, tap the heel on the wall. Come back to center. Now move further away from the wall. So this will be a little bit more challenging. We're stabilizing through the torso, through the core, while reaching our limbs away from each other. So bring your feet off the wall, come back into this dead bug shape. Press out into the upper mid back, reach the arm and leg away from each other, tap the wall gently, come back. Decide if you want more resistance. So the closer to your foot you're holding onto the band, the more effort you'll have to apply to pull the band apart. Nothing changes with the lower back. Reach your foot directly forward towards the wall. See how the foot wants to go higher the wall, up the wall? So try to keep the angle the same as you reach towards the wall, the angle underneath the knee. One more time, pull, reach, pressing out through the upper back, release. Switch hands. If you want, you can hold onto your mat with your right hand, sort of anchoring your upper body a little bit more into the floor. Now reach the opposite arm and leg. So it's your left hand and your right foot, reaching away from each other. Nothing changes through the lower and upper back. You're still pressing out into that phantom band across your upper back. The arm is straight. 2 more times. Reach. And back. 1 time. Beautiful. Nice. And now release your feet down. Take a moment there. Widen your feet so they're on the edges of your mat. And then gently move your knees over to one side. Over to the other side, looking towards the opposite shoulder. Move your knees over to the right. Hold onto the band. Keep your knees over to the right and then reach the arm up and over in the diagonal. Look towards your left shoulder. You can decide if the tension is enough for you, too little or too much. You can create more tension by holding onto the band closer to your foot. And then slowly release, come back to center. Bring your feet up and let's switch over to the other side, other foot. So look over the other foot and then move in towards the wall. So we're starting that 90-degree shape first. And one side might feel really different from the other side. So stay really focused on your sensations here. Hold your band in your left hand. Connect into the phantom band across your upper mid-back. And then pull on the band. And notice if there's a moment when your middle back wants to lift off the floor. Try to keep pressing out through the upper mid-back while you're reaching the arm up and over. Very nice. Now let's switch hands. We're going to hold the band in your right hand. I'm going to pull up and over. Pretend the band is still across your upper mid-back and you're pressing out into it while reaching the arm up and over. And notice how it feels to have the opposite arm pull on the band as opposed to the same arm on the same side as the leg. Very nice. And now we'll scooch away from the wall. Let's do 3 inches. Hold the band in the same arm as the leg. So bring your feet off the wall, find 90 degrees at the hip. And I will reach the heel to the wall while reaching the arm up and over. Pressing out into the upper mid-back. Reach, tap the wall, mid-back. Breathing through the nose, pressing out through the upper mid-back. There's a tiny bit of space underneath your lower back. Come back to center and then switch hands. If you want, you can hold onto your mat with your left hand to anchor your body down a bit more. And now reach, tap the wall, press out through the upper mid-back. The band is still there, hugging you, and you're resisting back. 5 more seconds. So you inhale when your arm and leg are close to each other, and then you exhale and you reach, tap the wall. One more time. And come back. Beautiful. Bring your feet down. Widen your feet. Hold your band in the left hand. Now the knees shift over to the right. Come back to center. And then over to the left. And again over to the right. Look towards the left shoulder. And over to the left. Hold the end of the band in your right hand and then reach it on the diagonal. Pretend you're still pressing out. You're still pressing out through the band over your upper mid-back. Look towards your right shoulder. Beautiful, and slowly come back to center. Take the loop off. Hold onto the band with both hands right in front of your face. Pull on the strap. Press out through your upper mid-back like the band is still there. Bring your arms, both arms up and over. Keep pressing through the upper mid-back. And arms come back. And then pull on the strap, up and over. And bring them back. One more time. Up and over. The upper mid-back is still pressing out into the phantom band. And come back to center. And release the strap. Roll onto your side so you can see the screen. And find your gorgeous, your tune-up ball here. Make sure your side of your head is supported. We'll hold onto the ball with the left hand, and we're gonna find some rotations here. Tuck your ribs in, and it's the same action, right? It's just a different cue. We're pressing out through our upper mid-back like the band is still there. Rotating. Notice if the shoulder is right on top of the rib cage or has it shifted back a little bit. It's right on top. Pretend you're holding a big dog on the leash and you want to have that joint nice and snug. The arm bone is connecting into your shoulder blades, rotating. If you want, you can have your ball, your gorgeous ball between your knees or your blanket, you know, if your hips feel better, like this. So bring the arm down, rotate the arm in, press out through the upper mid back, reach the arm back, rotate, armpit opens up towards the sky, arm moves up and over. Nice and slow, squeezing the ball so the arm, the hand, the wrist are active. Reach back, rotate. You're staying on your side. Notice if your upper body has rolled back. So stay on your side. One more circle, up and over. Beautiful, nice. Put the ball down, press yourself up, and we'll move our blanket to underneath our rib cage. And then we'll rest down, and we'll take a couple breaths here. Your head can rest on your arm. Take a few breaths here and try to create expansion through the side of your rib cage where you feel the blanket. Beautiful. And then push yourself up and move the blanket back. Settle back down. The ball will go to the front if you have the ball between your knees. And we'll squeeze the tuna ball, your tennis ball, inside the top knee. And we'll do some hip circles. We're really focused on stabilizing the core when we're on our back. So use that awareness, right? Try to keep your core nice and stable while moving at the hip. Pressing out through the upper back. You can sort of anchor your body down with the fingertips in the front. Reach your top side back. Pressing out through that phantom bend. Knee goes up, heel goes down. Pulling through. Come back to the front and then reach back. Find that hip extension without using your upper or lower back. So everything is in a cylindrical shape, nice and solid. Knee up, heel down. One more time, reach back. Knee up, heel down. Pull through. Beautiful. Now take the ball out, tap the hip. Reach your top foot forward, top leg forward, flex your foot. Put your arm up and over and allow a tiny bit of a rotation through the upper back. So you're sort of looking up towards the sky, you squeeze the ball, and you keep flexing your top foot. You're pulling the top of the foot towards your shin. Find a nice diagonal stretch. Make sure you're still gently hugging the shoulder joint in. So we're not letting it kind of float back. We're still pulling that big dog on the leash there. And then slowly release. Now we'll move the top leg back, straighten the knee, flex the foot, and reach your top arm forward on the diagonal. And then glide your top arm forward. Feel that diagonal stretch now in the opposite direction. Feel your top shoulder blade moving away from the spine while you're pulling the top heel back behind you and down, away from your shoulder blade. And slowly come back to center. Push yourself up. We'll switch over to the other side. Nice and slow. Take your time. Okay. So decide if you want the ball between your knees. Reach your top arm up. Squeeze the ball. Make sure you're right on your side, and so the arm feels on top of the ribcage and not behind. Right on top, centering that joint. Arm bone inside your shoulder blade. Rotate. Think of corkscrewing the root of your arm into the shoulder joint. Notice which way is more challenging when you're moving in, when you're rotating out. Yes. Bring the arm down, rotate in, connect to your solid core, pressing out through the upper mid back, like the phantom, the band is still there. Reach the arm back. Rotate, armpit opens up towards the sky, squeeze the ball up and over. Beautiful, 2 more circles, squeeze the ball, reach back, rotate, open the armpit up towards the sky, up and over. One last time, reach. As far as it could go without letting sort of buckle through the mid back or lower back. And then rotate up and over. Beautiful, bring yourself back to center, ball down on the floor. Push yourself up, place the blanket underneath the side of your rib cage. Then rest down and take a moment to breathe into the bottom side of your rib cage here. Notice if the extension is available through the side, and if it feels different from the other side. Then you expand on the inhale and soften on the exhale. And then push up, move the blanket back, settle down onto the side. And now the quarters ball will be on the floor, and the tune-up ball or tennis ball will be inside the top knee. Pressing out through the upper mid back, making sure the lower back has a curve. Then reach the thigh back, squeeze the ball inside the knee. Knee goes up, heel down, pull through, bring the thigh back to the front. And then reach back, flex both feet so the entire leg is active. Knee goes up as the heel goes down, pull through. And one more time. Reaching back, knee up, heel down. The torso is completely still and stable. Beautiful. Take the ball out, top the hip. Reach the top leg forward and flex the foot. And the top arm goes up and over the head. Tiny rotation through the upper back so your chest is rotating towards the ceiling. Keep hugging that shoulder blade down and in. You're holding a big dog on the leash. Squeeze the ball. Flex your top foot. Keep pulling the top of the foot towards your shin, reaching through the heel. And come back to center. And we'll do the opposite. Reach the top leg back. Keep flexing the foot and the top arm forward. And glide it on the diagonal. Feel the top shoulder blade moving away from the spine. And your right reaching back. And then pull everything back to center. Press yourself up. Lovely. Okay. So now we'll do the arm rotation supported with the quarters ball like we did last time. For that, you'll need your quarters ball. If you don't have the ball, you can use a blanket. So we'll be on the belly, and then the quarters ball or the blanket will go underneath your shoulder like this. Okay? So the front of the shoulder is supported, and then you'll hold your ball in that same hand. And you can rest your forehead
Maybe watch me first so you don't have to crane your neck when we're doing this. You can rest your forehead on a fist like this, right? And I want you to be leaning onto this ball so the top of the shoulder, the front of the shoulder is supported, and you'll reach forward, squeeze the ball, you'll reach to the side, rotate, and then bring it back, straight arm, and then fold it here behind your back, and we'll try not to touch the lower back with the hand, right? And then out to the side, and for most of us, it's really tricky to keep the arm straight all the way to the front, and then we release, okay? So bring your head down so your neck is long. Support the front of the shoulder with a ball or your blanket. Reach the arm forward, lift the hand up. Squeeze the ball, move the arm out to the side, rotate. Keep bringing the arm back in internal rotation all the way back. And then fold your elbow so the back of your right hand, if you're doing the right side, is hovering above your lower back. And then bring the arm out to the side again, all the way to the front. Keep your arm nice and straight. And then relax. Very nice, beautiful. We'll do 3 more times. So start here, inhale into your belly. We'll add a little bit of activation to the back line. So as you exhale, drive your pelvis into the floor, then lift your arm up. Squeeze the ball, move the arm out to the side, rotate, bring it all the way back, and then folding the elbow, covering the back of your hand over your lower back. Out to the side, keep your arms straight all the way to the front, and release. Relax your belly, beautiful. Inhale here, right into the belly. As you exhale, drive your pelvis down into the floor, engage your legs, squeeze your glutes, lift the arm up. Squeeze the ball with your hand, move the arm out to the side, rotate, bring it all the way back, fold the elbow, and then out to the side, back to the front, and release. Beautiful. Let's switch over to the other side. Come up into your forearms, move the ball or the blanket. So the blanket can be sort of supporting the top, right, the front of the shoulder. I like the ball because you feel the squish and the give, and you can really lean into it. So your forehead is resting on your fist, if this works for your neck. Reach the arm forward. Inhale into the belly. As you exhale, drive your pelvis down into the floor. Squeeze the ball in your hand. Reach the arm out to the side, rotate so the ball is facing up towards the sky. Bring the arm back. Keep it straight for as long as you can, then fold the elbow, covering the top of the hand above your lower back. And reach it out to the side, rotate and bring it to the front. Keep your arms straight, beautiful. Relax for a second, inhale into the belly. As you exhale, driving the pelvis into the floor, squeeze the ball in your hand, reach the arm forward, out to the side, rotate. Fold the elbow, cover the back of the hand, above your lower back. And then out to the side. Keep it nice and straight, and bring it all the way to the front. Release. One last time. Inhale into the belly. As you exhale, drive the pelvis up, down into the floor, reach the arm forward, squeeze the ball. Out to the side, rotate the arm, fold the elbow. Cover the back of the hand above your lower back. Out to the side, back to the front. And release. Beautiful. Move the ball off to the side. Come up onto your forearms. See if you can sort of collapse into your shoulders, and then pushing through the forearms. Can you grow a nice long neck here? And then again, slowly, slowly collapse. And then push. Grow long neck. So the head kind of stays up the whole time. Release the shoulder blades towards the spine and then push. So keep pushing here and now relax the head forward. Allow the head to hang. And then bring the head back up. And inhale and release the shoulder blades towards the spine. As you exhale, push through the forearms. Widen the space between the shoulder blades. Keep pushing through the forearms. Space between the shoulder blades nice and wide. Now allow the head to hang nice and slow. And bring the head back up. Beautiful. And we're ready to rest. So if you like having the cortis ball underneath your belly, so this is a great way to release the belly and encourage diaphragmatic breathing. So you can spend some time over the cortis ball underneath your belly button, still on your forearms, gently rolling side to side. You can use your blanket, same spot, just moving side to side and noticing how the belly can soften into the blanket. Moving side to side and just noticing the sensation through the belly. Maybe moving up and down. Maybe going around in a circle. And then settling right over the belly button. Take a few breaths here. Expanding into the ball. And then exhaling, softening, and allowing the ball or the blanket to snuggle in deeper into your abdomen. And then slowly coming off the ball, have the blanket underneath your head, roll onto your back, and just take a moment here on your back with your knees bent, and together with your arms relaxing by your sides. Check in with your body. Check in with your breath. Notice how much of your body is available to your breath. Start moving your fingertips and your toes. Feel the movement as you lift up your arms and up your legs. Lengthen your inhales. And lengthen your exhales. Straighten your legs. Cross your right ankle over left. Bring your arms up in front of your body. Interlock the fingertips. Pretend you still have that bend across your upper mid-back. Press out into the bend. And then move your arms up and over while still pressing out into the bend. Now move your legs and your arms to the left, creating a crescent shape with your body, gently shrinking the left side and lengthening through the right side. The ribcage stays on the ground the whole time. If you feel that your ribs have to lift off the floor, bring the arms slightly closer, so not quite as high above your head. So bring them towards, so they're in line with your nose maybe. Yeah. And then slowly move back to center. Cross your left ankle over right. Make sure you're still pressing out through the bottom ribs. And you take your legs and your arms and your whole body into crescent shape on the other side. Lengthening through the left and shrinking through the right. connecting the bottom ribs to the floor the whole time. And come back to center. Bend your knees. Roll over into one side and press yourself up. And this will be the end of your practice.